I'm your Travis, host, Kelmar.
I'm your god.
I'm your Zool, Travis Kilmer.
That's how it is. Here we go. Hi. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the breakthroughs. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction. The rest of you get left behind and messed up in this session.
Welcome to Drunkcast Live.
Yay.
Episode 68. Drunkcast Live is the semi award-winning podcast that takes place in Austin, bars, and all over the world someday. I'm your host, Travis Culver. We're at Jackalope. Jackalope is a bar here on 6th Street in Austin, Texas, which is like dirty 6, right in the middle of all the craziness. If you've ever been to Austin, Texas, and you've been in the middle of a big crowd of people that all suck. Well, they don't.
That means you haven't been in the Jackalope.
Right, you haven't been
You've
inside
been
the
nearby.
Jackalope. Jackalope is a very nice little place. It's been here for quite some time, and it is probably the friendliest dirty place that you can go to on 6th Street.
It's been Austin's #1 dive bar for a while. I don't know if they
for
got
quite
it.
some time.
Yeah.
And they have fantastic burgers. Voted multiple times in the top 5s in Texas, if not the world.
It is my favorite bar in town, in the world, possibly.
Bar in town in the world. On the panel tonight, we have Donnie Dotson coming back.
Hi, Travis.
Thank you for coming back, man. Good to see you.
You're welcome for having me come back.
Well, yes, I am.
You're welcome for taking me from the cage.
That's a factual statement. I'm glad you had your shots finally. Dylan won't be here tonight because, unfortunately, Cedar is kicking his ass. Across from me is Adam McWaters.
I'm Adam.
And
hello.
her lovely husband.
Yes.
Jesse.
Hi.
What's going on, Jesse? It's been a while since Jesse's been on the show. It's been a while since Donnie's been on the show.
It's like a reunion tour.
It's almost like a reunion tour, yeah. The Rise Before the Fall. Just tell us what you've been doing recently. Actually, one of the things we've been doing recently, actually, is give us a little kind of background about you. What makes you cool? What makes you a human?
That I was born from humans and didn't mutate. I'm married to Adam. That makes me pretty cool.
Married to Adam.
Yeah.
You work in?
I work doing data collection for car companies.
Okay, what's your hobby? Or what are your hobbies?
I sew.
And how many cats do you have?
2.
Yay! Those are all correct.
False. She has one cat.
That's
that
true.
cat owns another cat.
That is true. That is
yes.
true. I'm sorry, I lied.
Time to split hairs. Episode 68.
Splitting hairs.
Splitting hairs.
Splitting cat hairs.
Donnie, what have you been up to, man?
Well, I just started working again after basically a month or so off.
Congratulations.
That's what happens when you don't take your vacation until the very end of the year.
You do that very successfully. In
Yeah.
every job that I've ever known you
Yeah.
wait until December and just
The 11th hour,
kick it
if
out,
you will.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Just sit at home and order stuff off Amazon.
Yeah, or Steam.
Yeah,
Play some games.
both. Yeah.
So what's your thing? Well, what would your movie blurb be?
A solitary man who works for arms dealers in the cyber war.
Did you think of that before? Is that something you thought about?
Well,
that?
that's how I did. If
that's
I want to make myself sound way more interesting than I actually am, I say
Yeah.
that I work for arms dealers in the cyber war.
Oh, right.
Because that's kind of what we do. But,
Right. In which case, you're throwing routers their way.
Yeah. No,
you're-
I'm sitting at a desk and people are calling me saying, click on this thing, it doesn't work. But the thing that they're clicking on is it's cyber war equipment.
That shit's nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuke
yeah.
Lube.
That's nuclear.
No, that's actually pretty apt. I liked it.
I have a lot of other things I would like to be doing if my bed didn't feel like shooting up on heroin at 8 in the morning.
Why does your bed do that?
No.
Because of all the heroin needles that's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You should probably get a new mattress.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Or at least cut off your bed supply.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I've been
Well, but then he's got to live through the sweats.
I've been struggling with the idea. I was like, why can't my bed in the morning feel like my bed at night, and my bed at night feel like my bed in the morning? Because in the morning, I don't want to get out of it. At night, I want to. I want to be in it.
I want to.
Yeah.
The last place I want to be is
Yeah.
in that bed.
Ambien is your answer, I think.
Actually, no, it's not your answer at all. That stuff makes me Oscar the Grouch the next day. Holy crap, I'm depressed.
Adam, you're always Oscar the Grouch.
You've not been around one.
And not
after
because
I
you
had
just woke
Ambien.
up in a trash can.
Again.
Again. If only my trash can felt the same way in the morning or at night than it does in the morning.
Fun fact: Oscar the Grouch used to be yellow,
Okay.
and they dyed him green because of all the trash.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah.
At least they're scientifically accurate. I guess.
This is
I
apparently.
don't know about that.
Would it be
Josh
yellow
Chips
and
is
brown?
not. Yeah,
This is
it'd be
apparently
brown.
backstory of Oscar the Grouch.
Because if they made him brown, he'd look like Snuffleupagus, and that's not a real thing.
Yeah. Or it would also indicate that everybody on Sesame Street shits in the garbage. Even fun-loving Big Bird.
I don't see any bathrooms in Sesame Street. There's no
No, there is a bathroom because
Yeah.
Ert and Bernie.
Ert and Bernie.
Bert and Ernie.
There we
Yeah.
go. They'd had a whole bedtime routine where they brushed their teeth
All
in the
right.
bathroom.
Actually, Ert
Yeah.
and
And
Bernie
then-
was from the Australian show.
Yeah,
And then they
Sorry, I
s-
got confused.
And then they spooned.
Yeah, it's like,
then
oh yeah, the only people who have a bathroom on Sesame Street are the gay couple.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they're making a statement there.
And then it's sweet because they spoon, and Ernie's smaller than Bert, I think, and so but he'd be the big spoon. That's also known as jetpacking.
I like that term a lot.
I do
actually.
too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that term.
Well, yeah. Only if you're small enough.
yeah,
Right? Yeah. Okay,
It's for small.
Only for the
people.
small ones. Yeah.
So if a small person is snuggling your butt, you're jetpacking.
yeah. We can't do that.
No,
think
that's you
we're
guys
of
are
a height.
you guys are spoons all the way.
Yeah, we're gonna just. Oh, I did miss a call
all
from
different
Dave.
various,
So did
yeah.
you.
I sure did. I'm gonna go ahead and text him and let him know what's going on. He's gonna be our audience member tonight. Let's go ahead and take our first break and refill, unload, whatever you want to do, and we'll come back after this.
Sweet break.
And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice move.
Let me be clear about one thing.
Oh, sorry.
I like his face.
I got my old soul shoes, tripping on the deep groove. And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice move. Boom, boom, bam, boom, box. We're here to rock you.
Welcome back to the show.
Hey,
Yeah.
Official segment 2.
finally.
yeah. We kind of got off topic here. Oh, here is Dave Rocco coming up, man.
Hey, Dave.
Go grab one of those stools and come up here. This part of the show, if you're listening for the first time, is our general topic. We talk
General
about
topic.
news and entertainment. We have an emailer for the people who are hanging out.
We do.
The majority are our special cast, and we talk about things that have been going on in the last week or so.
Yes,
Like I said.
ridiculous things.
Ridiculous things more often than not, hopefully. Some serious things as they are relevant or necessary. I would say probably one of our biggest ones would be what Adam shared.
Oh, yeah, what did I share?
Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Canadian somebody special
Yes.
was
Yeah.
like the aliens would give us more tech if we denuked or stopped warring, which calls a lot of things into question.
Well, that also ties into what were you talking about last week, where the guy thinks that Obama is going
Oh,
to reveal
yeah.
that we've made contact with aliens
to
for
distract.
reasons.
Yeah,
Red herring-ish.
Yeah,
I like to
the
call
red
that.
herring.
Lately in my readings of conspiracy theory, I like to call that question mark prophet, because every conspiracy
Question
theory goes
block
number
prophet.
1, fake
Mario
a school
style.
shooting. Number 2, question mark. Number 3, prophet.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
You know.
Killed Dustin Hoffman is part of that too, I think.
Yeah.
You can't kill Dustin Hoffman.
Paul Haller, that's a wag the dog comment for anyone who remembers that movie.
I don't.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
it's a spoiler. So.
Yeah.
Paul Hellyer, who has long insisted that aliens have visited Earth for many years, says that when aliens saw the atomic bomb, they decided that we are a great threat to the cosmos. What a wonderful man.
Because, I mean, by the time we're in, like, space navies and shit warring with other people, like, bullets will be nukes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, if you look at the
Big
way
deal.
that technology and discovery progresses, if they're to the point where they can travel through interstellar space over millions of light years, they probably have already gone through that. They probably figured out, hey, we can blow shit up like really crazy.
they probably have
that's
way
actually-
better
thousands of
stuff.
years
That's
ago.
actually a good point.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so do you think then, in this hypothetical situation, an alien pulls their Toyota Camry up to Earth's
Yeah.
orbit or whatever and says like, "Oh shit, they're still doing this"?
Hey, bros.
Do you think they'd be more patient, or do you think they'd say like, "Oh fuck this, like I'm not putting my dick in crazy, I'm
Well,
out"? You know?
well, if you do it like Star Trek style,
okay.
Yeah, they'd be
It's
like,
like-
oh, how sweet. They're like little children.
right?
You know,
They're like
yeah.
they need another couple hundred years to mature.
Those arrogant
kinda.
bastards.
Yeah.
I hate them already.
They probably watch videos of us on the internet, like little
Oh,
kittens.
God.
Like
that,
we watch
that doesn't
cats.
reflect well.
Well,
They
it's-
watch
Google
us.
does have a satellite that just shits every YouTube
Yeah.
video out into space,
Yeah.
which is not a good idea. I told
They have
Larry
videos-
over and over again
Yeah.
it was not a good idea.
They have videos of us, like they watch videos of us watching videos of cats.
Yeah,
Hey, did you see
we're
that?
playing The Sims. who are playing The Sims that are actually playing a game on YouTube. So
Oh, did you see the video of the human getting kicked in the nuts? Oh,
right.
It's all over the.
Poor guy didn't like that, did he?
Apparently, it came out of the Milky Way network. You know those guys.
It's the same stuff all the time, Bob.
in an interview with Russia,
I didn't even upvote. I'm so sick of Milky Way shit.
God.
repost, reworld.
Yeah.
In an interview with Russia Today, Ellior explained, as if it was obvious, of course, there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades. The reason for this, he said, was that man was stupid enough to invent the atomic bomb. Aliens are frightened that we're going to use it again and again, and this will affect the whole balance of the cosmos. Yeah. I mean, obviously. I mean, we've seen what the galaxy is.
Sure.
It is
One planet,
very sensitive.
One planet blows themselves up because planets don't die all the time or anything.
Right. Article from CNET.
Yeah.
I love that shit a lot.
I like it too, except it's less the. We should totally get rid of all our nukes because it's less that and more like this guy is in a position of leadership.
Oh yeah. Ex-defense minister.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if he'd have thrown it out as a hypothetical, like maybe aliens came and saw us being idiots and were like, screw these guys, I could see that happening. Like, if he'd have come out and said it like that, then I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
he's
then
like,
he wouldn't have made the news.
He's very certain. Well, no, that's true too. You know, I mean.
No, he's talking like he has a poker game with the motherfuckers. Like,
Yeah.
weekly.
Hey guys, I just
And
got
they're
back. I just got back from Crazy Eights. That's what we call it. We call it Crazy Eights. It's pretty cute. It's 8 of us.
He signed
Yeah.
up for their email newsletter. You know?
Steve Zeta couldn't make it because he's a little concerned about your nuclear capacity.
You guys got really good at science at some point.
Yeah.
It sucks, you know.
I mean, you're
Violently.
not us or anything, but just deal. All right, come on.
So speaking of aliens and hypothetical situations, pot sales $5 million in the first week in Colorado.
Yep.
What the fuck, man?
I am booking
How
plane
weird.
tickets for April or May. I haven't decided yet.
Does your job require you to take a drug test at any point?
Absolutely not.
I knew that answer. I just wanted to get it on microphone.
I'm not really sure what today is, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It is after that day, the other day. Yeah, man. God. Well, excuse me. And after that, obviously, there's several states, several areas that are trying to quickly legalize. So here's the question: when is Texas going to do it?
Last.
No,
not
it won't,
last.
it won't be
Not
last.
It'll be number 43 or 44.
Yeah, it'll be like between the fourth and next to last.
God.
Look at the education system. Who's on the bottom?
Right.
That's about where we'll be.
Although I find it weird. I found it weird that Colorado did it, considering like the massive amount of horrid news about Colorado's law
You don't know
enforcement.
anybody from Boulder. Like they're potheads, every single one.
I realize that.
Yeah,
I'm
they,
just saying.
they moved out there to work on a fucking ski resort.
They have
Full
like,
time.
The major metropolitan areas of Colorado have a huge police problem. Like they have like more like violent interactions with their police, more like there's so many of them. Like it's weird that they just hopped on and said, "Okay, we're going to legalize it," and boom, done. Like I mean,
well, it's not like the police are the ones who did it. They had no say.
well, no, but what I mean is like if you had if you have that kind of thing, like the whole drug war bit,
Right.
Like the reason why a lot of that interaction winds up taking place for things like pot and like dumb little shit, like some guy who can't do math right now, like because the reason why is because it was generating a shitload of revenue, and when you just gotta go boop. We fixed it all, and then $5 million comes out from different, of course
Sure.
that happens. That makes total sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like, now, what are you going to do with your army of cops who spent day in and day out generating a bunch of revenue for these exact same...
Well, and in
Well,
between that
because
too.
they have
Everybody's
more
sobriety
than
tests.
just. There's more than just pot out there.
Well, I realize that, but...
So it's not like they're completely out of things to do.
No, I'm
Well,
not sure.
and
the cops
in
in the
between that,
schools.
in between the pot and the cops too, there's also the banks, and the banks more than recently said that they're not going to accept money from people who sell pot.
Well, and that's been an ongoing
make any
thing.
goddamn any sense. What's-
Well, it's been actually Planet Money did a whole article about it. This is back when because they had people who were growing legal marijuana for
Medicinal
purposes,
Right.
and they couldn't get a bank. So
for
this is
medicinal purposes.
Sounds like we should move to Colorado and open a bank,
Yeah.
a pot bank.
Man, I hate banks. Let's do that.
Well, the big problem is that weed is still federally illegal.
Right.
and
right.
banks are FDIC. So
right.
they're not going to do that. I
Right,
really think that
because it's easier for a bank to be touched by, especially by the FDIC,
By an angel.
or touched by an angel, or touched by a wolf, or there's got to be another song about being touched by something. Touched by in A minor.
God.
Touch myself?
Yeah.
Touch myself. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Touched by themselves.
I want you to touch me. So you hit that monster.
Oh, nice.
Distracted by e-cigs actually brings up a perfect segue.
E-cigarettes.
That I'm sure that Adam and Jesse have some conversation. I'm sure Dave does as well. E-cigarettes and Big Farm.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Good answer.
Well,
What do you think? Jesse?
it makes sense that the tobacco companies don't want e-cigarettes going anywhere.
Right.
It is also true that e-cigarettes are mostly unregulated at this point.
Yes. Yes. Do you know? No. So no, he's not listening right now. He is, but he's not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you think there's any credence in the fact that it's still an unknown thing?
Yeah, I do. I think there is validity to the argument of saying we don't know enough to blah blah blah.
Right.
However, we do know stuff.
We know enough stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we know stuff, and from that stuff,
The 10 years
it would
wasn't
be
in yet,
like
obviously.
it seems
Right,
as though
right,
it is
right.
too hard for people to kind of just go, okay, well, I can take this into account and say this isn't in fact a tobacco product because it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Assuredly
not getting sold to children. It's under the exact same regulations
Right, right.
as tobacco products that they have actually. The people selling equipment, flavors, etc., everything about it have opted to do. Like, to then just kind of go, fuck it, lump it all in and ban the whole goddamn
Sure,
thing
sure.
is not taking into account what we do already know and instead just banking entirely on what we don't know.
But I also see there's an unfortunate cultural issue there. Well, I wouldn't say cultural. The
Societal?
the fake ethics of smoking an e-cig, for example.
In the lines of
Dave
the
has
fake
been.
ethics,
Dave has actually been in e-cigs before. Really, it was cool.
I was still ordering from China when it took like 3 weeks
Yeah.
to get
Right,
from China.
right.
When Dave and I were first getting into it, it was, I mean,
So this
early.
fake
Yeah.
ethics thing, I'm assuming most of your listener base is here in Texas.
Not really,
We
actually.
got some. We got some people.
Well,
in,
we have a lot of
in our-
international
Here
listeners.
in Texas, some of the local Round Rock in particular has a city ordinance that treats e-cigarettes just like cigarettes. So it's like $1,000 or $2,000 fine if you're smoking them.
Right.
And in terms of the we don't know, I see you're smoking a fine name brand cigarette,
Yeah. Donnie is. Yeah.
which has about 2,000 different chemicals in it.
Easily. Yeah.
And we're really, really sure about what all 2,000 of those chemicals do.
Right.
Kill rats.
Yeah. And people.
Yeah. And
Occasionally.
in an e-cigarette, there's
In the
like
mood.
3 chemicals. Four
And you know
chemicals.
what they are.
And we
The-
know
the-
what
Right,
they are.
Yeah,
right,
the
right,
actual reaction of heating it to create the vapor creates a very easily determined
Now,
set of things.
Right.
The problem is
Yeah.
when it comes from China in the big bulk vats of nicotine.
Everyone ignores everything else except for China, really.
Yeah, it could have, I don't know,
Rat
lighter
feces.
fluid, rat feces, roach legs.
Well, and that was the thing
Chinese
too.
people.
And so that's the cultural.
We have a friend. We have a friend named Neil. He's a Scott sommelier, awesome guy, and he said that he was talking to his doctor about it just because he was curious. But his doctor specifically said, "It's from China. I don't trust it. Don't do that." He's like, "I don't like the fact you're smoking American spirits, but at least you're smoking American spirits and not just regular cigarettes, I guess. If you're gonna smoke anything, just stay with regular cigarettes and don't smoke e-cigarettes because again, they're from from China."
Well, can't trust
Yeah.
Chicago
Yeah,
either.
no, you definitely can't trust
You
it.
can't do it.
Oh, hello, madam.
A lot of these things aren't just from China now, though.
Oh no, of course, of course.
When I buy my nicotine, it's from the United States of America, hoorah, and it has an MST sheet and the
Yeah, of
chemical
course. Yeah,
composition
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So they've tested
And
it.
that's the growing pains of trying to figure out a way. Again, like it's the
Well, it is.
going back to the ethics of just I guess societal.
Like I said,
you know.
I think there
London.
is-
My friend, one of our friends, we used to work with Donnie's brother and myself at a Fanscape when he was in London. Not his name's
Not
not
London,
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 but he was
London.
when he was living in London.
Right.
He said that it started to get really annoying to try to smoke an e-cigarette anywhere because people would think it's smoke and they would cough and they would complain and One liberal thing, I guess, about
Oh,
London
yeah, I
is
mean, I'm the reason why there's a policy in my company
right,
for it.
right.
But it wasn't because anybody was coughing. It's
Right,
because
right.
somebody is an idiot.
I'd just like to point out that I kick it old school.
Yes, Jesse is kicking the
She's
hookah.
kicking
You kick it. You kick
way
it old school and brown people. So I'm wondering why that's not illegal.
Because it's an appropriation, sir. That's right.
Stop pulling
Sorry.
Starburns.
There we
So,
go.
last thing on the news segment. Actually, let's go to entertainment because there's a couple of things on entertainment that I think are really, really cool.
We actually came up with a lot of stuff.
There's
I
a
was
lot of-
emailing
a lot of
her
interesting stuff this week.
the actual
Yeah, it was
topics
long.
just in case, and there was a lot of them.
Sherlock's probably my biggest one.
Yeah,
well,
Sherlock.
when it comes to stuff we know, Sherlock is fantastic. Love what Sherlock's doing. Excited because, and I'm just going to stick to this one specific thing. If you watch Sherlock, 4th and 5th season are coming. If you haven't watched Sherlock, it's on Netflix. Just fucking watch it. Saul Goodman spinoff in November. I know.
Yeah, actually, Better Call Saul.
Yep.
I am cautiously optimistic about it.
Well, the Jeffersons spun off of All in the Family, and that did great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joey
but
spun off of
however,
Friends, so
what we have
Hey
is
Roz was the worst spinoff.
we
of-
have a
from
spinoff
Frasier.
of Breaking Bad,
Right.
which is a show that I think we all agree has, except Jesse who hasn't watched it,
true.
who it has raised the bar in television to a degree that is significant.
Well, what I think is that Breaking Bad is a pretty serious show.
Come snuggle. It's okay. There you go.
And, Breaking Bad's a pretty serious show, and I think this Saul thing is gonna maybe have a laugh track in it.
Well,
I don't know about a
well,
lot.
Breaking
hopefully-
Bad was
hopefully not a
actually a
laugh
really
track.
funny show too. I mean, it had a lot of
well, sure.
humor in it.
And Saul's parts was definitely, he
Yeah.
was, if anything else, the comic relief as much as he could be. I'm excited because I really want, I want him to continue to have a career, especially with that character because the character's great.
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk, yeah, fantastic dude, funny as hell, and I like what they're going to do with it. But it is kind of weird that they're going to do a spin-off of what was.
Do you think they'll have a Cranston flashback episode to bump ratings?
Well, I know that there's already. You can go to BetterCallSaul.com right now. They've already made a website for it, and there's testimonials, like customer testimonials. It's like one prostitute here, one guy here, and then there's fucking Badger, and Badger is one of the testimonials where he's like him talking about how he got caught like trying to sell drugs, and he was out that night smoking some weed with his friends, like. But it's like it's Badger, so like wherever they're doing the show, it's going to be somewhere in that universe. And it could be kind of cool to see what they do.
I'm actually I'm more excited that it is kind of a weird spin-off
Yeah.
of Breaking Bad, like because that's not necessarily something that's common anymore or been done maybe before to that degree.
to actual, to a benefit of any kind, too.
Yeah.
Because it could really fill in some
Except
space.
that, I mean, Bob Odenkirk did a fucking incredible job as Saul throughout
yeah, for sure.
countless seasons of that show and was one of the best characters.
So if the Saul show does good, do you think it ups the chances of a Mad Men spinoff?
No.
I think wasn't the Mad Men spinoff Happy Days?
Well, it would take it into the 80s and coke fiends
Yeah.
on Madison Avenue.
Sure.
It's sort of an American Psycho, not necessarily blood, but feel.
Well, American Psycho, well, I mean, that's trading a genre,
Trading places.
trading places. Actually, if they made a television series about trading places, I'd love that.
Kate plus 8?
Because I don't
No,
think Dan
no.
Aykroyd's actually doing anything except for making vodka now. So,
Ghostbusters 3.
last and never going to happen. The last thing on the docket for entertainment-related stuff is the Star Wars Y Council, is what I've said.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yes.
Council of Super Nerds. So
Yeah.
actually, one of the guys who is the holder of the Holocron, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
like that is his official title. He knows so much about the Star Wars universe. What I'm trying to figure out is like
Sold it.
I've never been a big fan of extended universes. That I am very simple when it comes to canon for anything that's related to like the fan fiction about Firefly like is not canon for me, and if someone writes a book like, well, that's not the same fucking thing unless the original director and the producers of the thing at least were in the same vein. It's not the same to me. Star Wars is a much bigger beast than Firefly.
True.
It has been for decades.
Ever.
So,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it this way: like Firefly, it has a relatively short run in comparison
Absolutely.
to Star Wars.
Right.
Star Wars has had my entire lifetime
Oh, yeah.
to grow.
Yeah.
And
It's had slightly more than my entire lifetime.
Young bucks.
Adam is older than me. Don't let
No,
him
it was
confuse you.
77, and I was born in 79.
I was,
so-
yeah, you're just trying to make me feel old.
Donnie, I can't remember. Have you ever actually read any of the extended universe stuff for Star Wars?
Yeah, I mean, I read the most of the Heir to the Empire trilogy,
Okay.
which was mostly pretty good, except at the end it got kind of dumb because they like cloned Luke and he had to fight his clone, and his clone's name was Luke with two U's.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which was kind of dumb.
It's Hawaiian.
Would that
Yeah.
be Luck then?
That's Luke.
No,
Luke.
Okay.
no,
okay.
yeah, they both had
It's
umlauts.
French Hawaiian.
Oh, okay. That's
Fr-
right.
in a galaxy far, far away. French Hawaiian. They're the worst group of people.
I read Shadows of the Empire, which was pretty cool.
Sure.
What was the
That was one
Timothy
that
Zahn?
a
Or,
lot of
no.
well, Timothy Zahn wrote. Okay, so I used to shelve mass market paperbacks at the library.
Yeah.
And specifically, I got the sci-fi section.
Yeah.
Timothy Zahn's section at the library is like, if you have 7 racks of paperbacks for sci-fi, one whole thing is all Timothy Zahn. Like, he's just
so then
prolific.
that's the question then. Should the Jedi Council of sorts, who decides what's canon, like, shorten that list? Is it necessary to say this is actually canon or not?
they
I
made
would,
a
I would
good
like them to keep Thrawn because he was pretty cool.
Well, they might
that particular,
take from
Now-
it, but
now
they're
remember
not
too,
going to
like-
make any of it canon if it's in the future, because that's how they're going to make their money.
But the thing is that, you know, the people who play Luke and Leia and Han Solo are 70 years old now, and so if it picks up, they could
70-ish.
easily work within that 70 years and be like, okay, well, we can say that Thrawn actually happened. We can say that Rogue Squadron happened.
Yeah.
We can say that this, but the Kevin J. Anderson Jedi Academy trilogy was fucking dog shit. So we're not going to do that.
Well, yeah, they
were
can. They
great.
can
Yeah.
So-
There's
and-
continuity things too in all of these.
Well, yeah,
books.
for sure.
I
I mean,
think is
when
the bigger issue.
well, like especially it was one I can't remember who wrote it. It was it Tom Stoppard wrote it was tentacle porn really, but it was Luke like got a mutation and raped his daughter.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and
the kind of stuff that they're going to drop
That's the
because
stuff they should
Disney.
drop. But that's the question though. Is like, you know,
was that guy?
we're looking at the continuity. We're looking at the necessity. Should one group of people really be in charge of it, or should we just not give a shit and just let them do whatever they want to because it doesn't affect us anymore?
Well, the thing is, if they take one group of people and have them go through all of the stuff
All
out
of it.
there,
Then let them do it.
they're gonna, well, yeah, number one, good
Yeah,
luck.
yeah.
Number two, they're going to be able to pick the stuff that will make future stories
Hopefully.
because it'll give them a baseline.
I'm actually certain.
Dave wants to be on the council, I think.
So think about it also this way: Disney buys this thing, and any change that they make, a large percentage of nerds are going to say, I hate that. Disney sucks. They're going to ruin the whole thing.
Side note:
So-
large percentage of nerds are going to complain about it no matter what they choose.
Exactly.
I mean,
so if you make a
Lionsgate
council
bought
of
it. They
nerds,
ruined Avengers, too.
You create this buffer wall between the Disney brand and the fan base.
Right,
So
right.
anything that goes wrong,
You can blame the
Disney
council.
can just say, "Oh, well, the council was, and that's you guys."
The council
so,
has spoken.
Well, then it just ends up there's 20,000 nerds who are mad that they weren't on the council.
Yeah.
That's actually that's
and
remarkably
then
sports.
World War III.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe like Wesleyan or something will have a because I'm thinking of like a really good school, Wesleyan. Will have a track where you can become part of the council eventually. You know, maybe there could be a
PhD.
Yeah, you can get a PhD in Star Wars literature,
Yeah.
which I have to take a break now
They
because I
would
have to go
call
puke.
it. They would call
Yeah,
it
I was
Star.
about to
They would
say.
call it
I'm also-
Star Lore.
I'm almost willing to think there is one.
Star Wars. I'm so tired of all these Star Wars. Ugh. Okay, let's take our next break. Let's come back
Yes, let's.
after this.
Break.
We're here to rock you.
Catholic penance. Welcome back to the show.
Yay!
Yay.
Segment 3.
The Fighting Three.
The Fighting 3. Today, this week, or whatever
Thanks
it
for
is.
the microphone as well, by the way.
Yeah,
I
we
do
got
appreciate you guys.
Dave Rockwell
having me
actually
here.
on the microphone because he is a clever guy, and it was going to happen eventually.
And he's full of sauce.
And he is full of sauce.
My cleverness was going to happen eventually, and it took me a while, but it finally
Here you
came in
are.
the mail. Yeah. F Amazon.
Our homework this week.
Yes.
If you're listening to this for the first time, we do homework every week, or not, we've been trying to do homework every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one, I guess, was a little bit more nebulous than I was hoping it would be. Because I drink too much. The homework this week is if you could only eat the foods for one meal forever, which meal would you pick?
Those meals being breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I don't want to say that though.
Okay.
I didn't want to specifically say breakfast, lunch, or dinner
Right.
because there
the
are other
confusion,
meals if you want to be a dick about it.
like fourth
Second brunch.
meal.
But there's fourth meal and there's actually a fucking brunch. Brunch is an actual meal people
Which
enjoy,
would be
It's
more or
a very
less his
important
option.
one.
which will allow you to do certain
Well,
things.
technically,
And like Hobbit shit, too.
technically, according
Well,
to
and I didn't want to go too far into the simulacrum or whatever.
That's not even canon. I know the council.
according for clarity's sake, according to my good friend and Canadian rapper, more or less, brunch is a remix of a meal.
No, that doesn't work.
Hey, what is that Canadian rapper's name?
Less.
Les?
More or less.
More or less?
Yes.
I bet you he makes dope albums.
He does.
He does. He's been on the show, actually.
I am actually very excited because
Friend of
he's
the
most
show.
likely going to show back up for South by, so we get to see Les some more.
Which would be
because
good.
he's
Oh, you'll have
always
the
good.
living room full of rappers, Canadian rappers again.
Yes.
No, actually, I'm
So
gonna
We're
anyway,
gonna have a bedroom full of Canadian
Let's not get
rappers.
too far into the Canadian rappers because that will happen
Breakfast.
and I can't wait to.
Homework.
But the question is, if you had to pick
Okay.
one of the meals of the day and you can only eat the food from those meals forever, what would you pick, Donnie?
Well, aren't lunch and dinner can be kind of the same thing. Right?
No.
Can they?
No.
You eating a sandwich for dinner, Donnie?
In which case, I would say dinner, because a standard meal is meat, some type of carbohydrate, and a vegetable, and that's what you need.
Protein,
in order to
carb,
survive.
Thanks,
Yeah.
food pyramid.
Yeah. So yeah, I could eat a steak and a baked potato and some broccoli, and I could
Illuminati
eat some
food
grilled
pyramid.
chicken and some brown rice and some asparagus.
But you'd be giving up on, keep in mind.
Yeah, I'd be giving up
Eggs
on
Benedict,
like eggs,
pancakes.
Pancakes.
And I think you can have crepes for dinner. Really, you should only have them breakfast and lunch, I think.
Only in France.
Wait, does dessert
Right, that's what
count?
I was saying. It was like France, they just do whatever they want because they
French Canada.
can't have French toast. You can't have, really, you can't have eggs and bacon by themselves. Would you
It's
be
not-
wi-
it's not
Would
a-
you be willing to give up on the eggs almost entirely
It's
to
not an
eat
optimal
dinner?
situation. It's not an optimal situation. But I was just thinking in like the term of human life.
You would rather just
Like
do dinner all the
Quiche.
time.
Yeah.
Quiche is
yeah.
a dinner food.
Yo, quiche can also be an awesome breakfast food if you do it right.
Yeah.
Jesse, you said you could give up on
Dinner.
eggs.
I
You-
can
you will
absolutely
dinner.
give up eggs. I know that breaks Adam's heart, but I the thing is, not a huge fan of sandwiches.
Okay.
Not a huge fan of like scrambled eggs. Adam makes a mean omelet. That would make me sad, but he hasn't done that in a while, so I obviously can
Okay.
survive.
And actually, in preparation for this question, when there was some confusion about exactly what, in the realms of what this question actually meant, I looked to
bad.
see if there was a way. No, I mean just you. Wondered if there was a way that an omelet can be served at night. Like, can you have
We've
it?
had
dinner
omelets
omelet,
for dinner.
Just
Yeah.
walk into gyms.
Well, I mean, like walking in gyms or Kirby Lane or
Denny's.
Denny's.
IHOP.
But you could just because you can eat breakfast
saying.
anytime doesn't mean that you can have breakfast,
It's a breakfast
at dinner,
food.
right?
Yeah,
It's not a
for
breakfast
that,
food.
But I'm okay with knocking out the traditional breakfast foods. Because I won't give up pot roast. Are you kidding me?
Right.
No. Steak? No.
Okay.
No. There's way more
But
for
you-
me. Plus
okay.
dessert. You don't get dessert after breakfast. You don't get dessert after
Well,
lunch.
breakfast can be dessert. Pancakes, crepes. Well, I mean,
Cinnamon
crepes,
rolls.
cinnamon rolls. Like you can lose cinnamon rolls forever.
Because cinnamon rolls can totally be dessert after dinner.
Nope.
That is a dinner thing.
Nope.
Absolutely.
No, I absolutely disagree with that.
Keep
What
in mind,
country
though,
are you from?
Yeah, that's that.
All-
Cinnamon
The
rolls are a
Midwest.
breakfast thing.
also, breakfast and dinner are the only meals where coffee is acceptable. So
Well, that's a good point.
Nobody's picked lunch yet, but just bear it in mind.
I would like to answer next.
Okay, yeah, Adam.
I am actually going to choose breakfast, and there's a number of reasons why. One, I love eggs
One.
from my head down to my legs.
Sure.
And all things that happen with those.
Sure.
And can be added to those,
Right.
etc.
Right.
The possibilities are limitless. Secondly, I
Two.
never ever get to eat actual breakfast, except for times when breakfast is not actually happening.
Sure.
So this would allow me to once again eat breakfast.
Right. It's because the medication you have to take every morning.
And I don't like breakfast. So.
Right. Sure.
Until I make an omelet, then the panties come off.
So, Dave.
True.
What do you think? If you had to choose one meal,
I'm backing Adam up. I like breakfast and eggs. Fantastic. Think about bacon, just on its own merits as a strip of bacon. For dinner, you have to wrap that bacon around something.
For lunch, you have to put it on a burger
and-
or a sandwich.
Exactly. And also
dinner,
break-
you can have bacon, eggs, and steak. You know,
but-
there are a lot of breakfast options. You can still enjoy dinner
breakfast,
stuff.
Chicken and waffles for breakfast.
Oh yeah, sure. And for dinner, but not for lunch. That's weird.
Not for lunch.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, that's gauche.
No, chicken and waffles is either for breakfast or it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're at 24.
Right, right.
But I think now
Happy as fuck.
long-term health benefits, though, me and Adam are dead.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
there's not a lot of vegetable action happening in the breakfast. And
Adam's
hash browns-
omelets.
I will
That's
will
true.
make omelets. They contain
okay.
vegetables.
But that's-
I will throw green onions on motherfucking anything.
That's about
so,
that's about
all
it
right.
though. I mean, like you
Yeah,
have to
but
eat
that's
an
it.
omelet every
Yeah.
time. Like omelets are almost too savory for me. You know, I like an omelet once in a while, but like, and I would love an omelet with onions and broccoli and even some potato. Add some cheese in there, ham, but not every day. You know,
Oh.
that's why. So, well, my answer, which is the right answer according to again the Wit and Mean
Given.
Science Review. Brunch. I mean, brunch isn't one of the options.
Actually, yeah,
because you can get
I
you
was-
can get all your breakfast options, you get all your lunch options, and I mean, you might not be able to do.
Yeah,
like,
you're missing out on dinner options.
no sushi, which is going to be a bummer. But you can eat fish for brunch. You can eat
Oh,
fucking
yeah. You can
salmon
get
and
meat on
tunas
some
and
cod.
like, yeah. Well, I mean, no, like not even that. Like fancier brunches, they have all sorts of really random options for.
You can listen.
brisket, you can get-
listen to more or less a song brunch again and find out all of your options
Mm-hmm.
and probably more from there.
Hey, could I change it so that it's just the category of appetizers?
Oh, what appetizer would you eat for the rest of your life?
Well, no, it would be any appetizer that would be served. Like right now,
Well, like breakfast doesn't have appetizers or dessert.
we're at the Jackalope
Right.
right now, and I think that I could survive the rest of my life just on the appetizers here.
Very short life.
I have a question.
That's a good segue into.
Do the mini corn dogs count as appetizers? 'Cause
Yes.
hell
Oh yes,
yeah.
of course, yeah. And really, I think Dave brings up the most important point of all is like if you're going to eat anything, you should do it at Jackalope because you can have every. I mean, if you don't really want breakfast, of course, you're going to eat that at home. Come down to Jackalope,
It's a great place.
something, West Trinity.
This is my first time with you guys here at the Jackalope, and
Yeah.
I'm still weighing the general merits of this over Don's Depot.
Well, you know,
Because you only get the
food.
popcorn. Yeah.
Food here.
food for sure. Better selection of whiskeys and stuff if you really like your whiskeys and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm still drinking Slow and Low, and Slow and Low is not available at Don's Depot, which is a big bummer. We're still trying
They
to push
should totally give us money to do this podcast because we love Slow and
that.
Low.
I love Slow and Low for sure. Have you tried Slow and Low, Dave?
I have not, but
It's just a whiskey. If you like whiskey, you want to try a little sipper.
if I start fighting, it's your fault.
It will be my fault. While I was enjoying this, let's go ahead and take our next break, and let's come back to segment four.
Not so much with Dave. Huh.
Oh, that's good.
Be right back.
We're here to rock you.
Ain't nobody finding that hooker.
I do too.
Welcome back to the show.
Yay!
Segment 4, the Marching Forth. This is our question segment of the show. If you listen to this first time, our own Jesse.
Hi.
Alex asked us some fucking fantastic questions. Super fantastic questions. So many,
She could
in
ask
fact.
them live right now.
I could.
Sure,
asks
she
some
sure
good
could.
questions every time that I'm here, and I know that it's a Jesse question. I'm like, wow, just wow.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and ask her to ask these two questions, starting
These two.
where the email is.
Okay. Sorry. If someone's underwear is showing, would you tell them?
Adam.
Do I know that person?
Yes.
Sure. I would tell them. I would say, hey, bro or lady, yo undies be showing.
Undies B. Chopin.
Don't know if you intended that, but just letting you know.
Donnie, what do you think?
No, because shit happens.
Okay.
You know, like I'm like, oh yeah, people's underwear pokes out all the time.
So you don't
what
let this
happens.
person go by their entire day just being basically embarrassed?
Well, I mean, if it's just like the band of the underwear is on the back or whatever, you
Sure,
know,
sure.
that's not a big deal. Or if it's a a hot chick and the thong's poking out, yeah,
Maybe she intended
give
that.
other people the pleasure. But
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
like, okay, yeah, if they got a giant hole in their crotch that they don't know about, or their pants are unzipped or something, and
Or their pants are on fire.
then
You can see their
I'll-
underwear. Yeah.
Then I'll be like, dude, but it's not that big of a deal to me.
think
It shouldn't
Dave-
be to anybody else.
I think picking up the thread that Donnie had was, is it a man or a woman?
Yeah.
If it's a woman, I'm probably going to let it slide just because that's the kind of piggish man thing.
Yeah.
that
Sure.
you do.
I was
sure.
about to call you a sexist, misogynist.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. It's fine.
I'm a sexist.
I would be insulted if I thought you had agency of your own. But
I'm husband today.
oh, okay.
Well, then
Pants-
check
pants
your
and
male
that.
privilege at the door. Okay.
But if it's a dude, it depends on his profession. If he's like a plumber or a
Yeah.
construction guy, I'm going to be like, you can't buy pants that are going to
Actually
prevent
fit you.
that.
Yeah.
You know. But if you have like a hole in your pants and I think you don't know it, I'll be like, hey, do you know you got a big hole in your pants and your underwear are there? And Hello Kitty's probably not appropriate.
I think it's fair. I probably wouldn't say anything at all. Yeah.
See, I totally would, but
Yeah.
I'm a costumer, so having done like shows where I have to check people before they go out on stage.
And their underwear's always showing.
I'm obsessive compulsive.
Yeah,
Like
show
I'm the
yourself.
kind of person, if you walk past me and your tag is hanging out, I'll be like, "Oh, sweetheart, hold on. Okay, you're good."
Well, it also, I mean,
Then I would
it also
sue you.
depends
I
on
want
the
to see if I
situation.
can get the reaction.
God damn it, Dave.
Next question.
So, next question. At the movie theater, which armrest is yours?
I don't have one, usually.
That's actually the correct answer for Adam. Go on.
The most convenient one, I guess, or both.
Left or right, man? Come on. Or
Well,
both. Yeah.
It depends how gross the person sitting next to me is. Like if it's a stinky homeless person or whatever, of course I'm going to take the opposite one to lean away from them.
How do they afford a movie ticket?
Maybe that's the last money they had. Maybe they're about to die. Who knows, man?
That's part of the bargain for sex. Sorry,
If the homeless dude who used the last of his money to go see this movie and was about to die, I mean,
I'll give
would
you a
take
handy if you take me to see Frozen.
You would take that dude's armrest?
No, I would take the opposite armrest so I wouldn't have to be close.
What if that
to
was a
the-
pregnant lady?
Staying away from it.
on the other side?
She gonna take that arm off, motherfucker?
Like I said, it depends. Like who's on the other side. If there's a nasty, stinky homeless person on one side, I would take the opposite side.
Oh.
But who's on the other side? Hopefully nobody, because I don't like sitting next to strangers at
A
movie
pregnant lady bear
Pin Gillette.
theaters. In Gillette?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
who's
that-
there to see Frozen
No,
for
then
the
he would
third
be my
time.
armrest. Yeah.
Okay.
It would depend on who I'm with. If I was with a lady friend,
Sure. Assuming she's
many-
okay. So assuming the lady friend to the right of you.
to the right, I would choose the left armrest as mine,
Sure.
so that because we would have that armrest up.
Yeah, the
Right.
snuggle effect.
Right.
And weirdly, I noticed that depending on who I'm with in a movie theater, because I rarely go to movies, but I sit on specific sides of them all the time,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and I don't know why. But obviously, if it's a guy, you're going to choose the armrest that's furthest from that dude
Okay.
because you're misogynist.
Right,
Yeah.
given.
Right.
Because of
Or
puritanical.
misandrous.
Puritanical, gender normative views.
All right. Travis's?
Typical cis answer. Actually, I guess left. Left is usually mine because if I'm going to be, yeah, it's either the left or I've paid extra to be in a chair that doesn't fucking matter. You know, a recliner at our fabulous Alamo Ritz location here in Austin,
Upstairs.
Texas. Upstairs on the balcony, nice leather recliners, and you have so much room. It doesn't
You
matter.
get both armrests at that
Well,
point.
see, that's my answer. I get both armrests because I just need the back end.
Sure.
Pants.
No, you
Sure.
So I
don't.
can hit it. Well, that's
Liar
why you
face.
never get one because
Well, I never get one because there's always like some unhappy couple right beside me on this side.
Yeah.
And they're both using my armrest, and then you always put the middle one up.
yeah, because snuggle factor.
Yeah, whereas I want it.
Right, but if I'm just going to the movies with like Jennifer, I'm taking up both armrests. Meh,
Dick.
I am.
Super dick.
That's the answer.
Perfect.
You know, I was noticing one difference between Jackalope and Dawn's.
Okay.
The
Just
fact that
one?
we might need a brief pause to get shots.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's where we are right now specifically.
Yeah.
There is not a cocktail because we are in the back because we're trying to stay away from other people.
And it's understandable. I'm not
Silence is
saying
better,
that it's a
What is
negative.
known as the reach around.
Oh my God!
Is it
Like
reach around?
almost like magic.
Like magic.
Andrea is magic.
Sorry. What are you doing?
I'm gonna come back up and we're gonna do our toast segment, so we might as well come up and figure out what kind of shots we want. Well, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna come up to the bar. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll follow up.
By the way, great questions. Thank you so much, Jesse, for asking these questions
Yay.
and
Hey, Jesse, we love it.
narrating these questions for us. If you have any questions for the Drunkcast crew or panel,
Please do.
whichever you want, please ask us a question. You can go to drunkcastlive.com/ask. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive and look at any of the new posts about where we are. We go to twitter.com/drunkcastlive. You can also go to the iTunes store if you really want to, or you can send an email to questions@drunkcastlive.
Also true.
Great stuff. We'll see you after this break.
Break.
Too long. Trying to settle in some riches with a space too small now. Here's an example.
I went down that road.
He keeps his head high and stays bold. He got a dedicated base and some status on the street. You never get an 8 to win, so he's the best. He writes
Welcome back to the show.
Hey.
Yay.
Our toast segment. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out, listening to this episode.
Are we doing the lightning round?
No, I really did want to introduce our lightning go-round segment here. If we have some time after the show, I'd like to do maybe one extra section of After
Sure,
Hours.
we should do that.
Because I like the concept. I think it'd be fun to mix it up. Maybe we can just make one whole fucking full segment of it and just torture everyone. But anyway, this is our toast segment. Our toast segment is as toasty as you think it is. We give a cheers to anything we talk about tonight.
Definitely
Anything
toast-esque.
that we like so much to say goodbye and thank you for listening. I would like for Donnie to give a toast if he can.
I would like to make this toast to aliens.
Two aliens.
Aliens, the species, Aliens, the movies, or
Aliens, the ones who would give us better technology if we denuked.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also Star Wars, that has aliens in it too.
oh sure,
But that's
to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Two Bubba Fett.
Dylan's too.
Apparently,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you for that toast, Donnie. I would like to point out everybody is drinking something called a breakfast shot.
Breakfast shot.
I've never tried one because I'm not a real shot guy.
It's got bacon in it.
Bacon.
That's really all you need to know.
And there's orange juice. What is the liquor that the bacon is?
It's a secret.
Well, it's a whiskey and a secret ingredient.
Okay.
And I'm chewing.
Which means that only people that actually
However-
come to Drunkcast or friend or like Drunkcast would know.
Well, I mean, we can give there's hints.
No, don't. I wouldn't even give a hint.
Okay.
No,
cool.
it's definitely a special shot.
Tastes
That,
like breakfast.
If they can't friend you on Facebook, they
Yeah.
don't get a hint.
The whole shebang altogether tastes like a complete breakfast. It's brilliant.
waffles and bacon and orange juice. It's a great shot. My own
Which, since I'm giving up
Andrea
breakfast food.
is the bartender for the night. She's the one who's been very patient with us. Put this thing
I
together.
just feel so bad. She works so hard.
She works
for
so hard.
us.
Yeah, she's always so busy. Yes, I love the breakfast shot. It's actually been a long time because they really do have to get bacon from the kitchen here, and they have
Yeah.
a full kitchen with a lot of great food.
They make really good food, so the bacon is also
Especially
really
the
good.
appetizer. Oh my God.
No breakfast here though. So
They don't
There
do-
are shots.
What time do they open? Is it a 10?
it's
or
11 o'clock every day.
a breakfast taco?
Lunch every day. Breakfast.
Everybody else serves breakfast taco.
No. Actually, Jackalop's one of the few places, and without even trying to make a plug, it's one of the few places on 6th Street where you can actually come and eat lunch. You have to go off of 6th Street more often than not. That's why they do have a lot of business, because there are a lot of people who come downtown for business and wander around to figure out what the hell they want to eat.
And then they accidentally walk into this place and
And have a delicious
love.
goddamn cheeseburger.
So, I'm not an Austin native. I don't.
Yeah, sure.
Is anyone here?
Technically, no.
No.
thank you for breakfast shots, darling.
I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go downtown and have some drinks." And I was like, "Where are you gonna go?" And the only place that I've really been here is here at the Jack.
Sure.
And they were like, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't recognize any of those places. And they were like, well, where do you drink? And I was like, Jackalope, and they were like, "Ew, I don't go down to Dirty Six." And I was
Yeah,
like,
sure.
well, "What is that all about?"
Well, 6th Street is split up into, I guess, 3 different sections. There's E6, which is in the up-and-coming area. Where
Yeah,
you get
they're
the more,
pretty nice. Rainy Street.
that's the more boutique-y, restaurant-y kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, there's awesome stuff that way.
My
Bourgeois, yeah.
my scouting of East 6th, Rainy Street, that whole scene and whatnot was,
Right on.
oh, this is all very cute and quaint, but there's nothing for me except for one place. And this is this German beer garden place that they have.
And all the places-
Massive amount of beer options, like all chalkboard. They have to write it on. Like,
Okay.
they have these taps all over the wall. It's beautiful and wonderful, and they make really excellent food. Everything else there is shit.
And outside of that, the rest of it is just overpriced.
It's
A
like, yeah,
boutique.
it's really overpriced with a nice fire pit.
Okay,
That's
cool.
that's my experience.
Sure.
And the second,
Well, and the other side is the West 6th Street. West 6th Street is basically past Congress, past Capitol area, whatever.
It's where the $40,000 millionaires hang out.
Sure, that's where
People
the
who
what,
make $40,000 a year. Don't
condos popped up. A lot of your fancier restaurants of sorts. Although there's still a place downtown or down in that area that I really want to check out. That it's Hofbrau Steaks. I really want to check out because they still have incredibly cheap steaks, and it's just in the middle of this incredibly extravagant area. Really.
This incredibly arrogant area.
Yeah, that actually what I should have said. But yeah, Dirty Six is the proper 6. This is where the fucking horse-drawn carriers used to fucking run around. You know.
Yeah.
Well, still does.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Did I tell you?
Clydesdales and all that.
On Reddit, a long time ago, there was this map of hand-drawn map of what is now downtown Austin back in the 18-somethings.
Okay. Yeah.
And fucking there it is. Like, this fucking building was on
Deadwood.
that map. The exact same building was on that map at 6th and Trinity.
And it was still called Bob Popular, actually, back then.
Yeah, it was still called Bob Populars. But yeah, it was neat. Like,
Yeah.
that whole outside was the exact drawing that guy did. And I was like, yeah, look at that.
I love that shit. Actually, one of my favorite things about 6th Street really is just looking up and seeing that it's still like this old building that used to be like, oh, that used to be the general store, and then the actual one of the drug drugstores, right? Like your proper drugstores where you can get like soda fountains and shit. Like is one of the is the Austin
letting it
Civic
go.
Center, or not Civic Center, but the place where you go if you want to get more information about Austin. You know.
Okay.
It's rad to look up
Visitor
and see.
Center?
Visitor Center, yeah. And look up and see, like, oh, this is where the history was, you know. And we're drinking there, so
It's delicious.
it's delicious. I want to thank everyone for being on the show. I want to thank everyone for listening to the show. I want to give anyone the opportunity to say one last thing before we close out. Is there anything you want to say?
Thanks for
Butt
having me.
Butt
Adam says
stuff.
butt stuff.
Okay.
I mean, thanks.
That is how he says
We're going to go
things.
through the eventual thanks, of course. But anything you want to plug? You know,
I'd like to thank Karma.
Karma, is she working tonight?
No,
On
but
the main stage.
she's
Actually-
working for me.
I would like to thank Jackalope for hosting this.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, this has been really, really great. For those, again, who have listened to the show for the first time, or anyone who's listened to the show before, Jackalope is also the place where we come for South by Southwest.
Yes.
And South by Southwest, if you don't know this, is a huge music festival that comes and goes and destroys
just
Austin
music.
for some time. Well, music, there's obviously the part that we really haven't gone yet. This year we will, to interactive movie area, the and more tech-savvy side of things. We will do that. But we were here last year, and it was a lot of fucking fun.
It was. I missed all of it, and I don't want to miss it this year, but I probably will.
No,
So-
you won't. You won't. You definitely won't.
You just have to take days off. We'll figure it out.
No, we're making it Saturday. We're making it
Okay.
Saturday. Show up
That's good.
early. You know, we'll all have fun together.
Well, the trouble is, like, South by's happening at the same time the height of Renfest is happening. So sometimes we have to be there for people getting fucking remarried or whatever.
Have to. Is a
Whose
weird-
idea was
weird
that?
phrase for them.
They should
Theirs.
move south by.
There's their idea.
Move south by.
Yeah. Easy.
But
Easy.
I would like to be there this year. I want the rappers on. I want to
Yes.
have a good time.
Yes.
And I think we can do it.
I think we will. I know we will. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's a good story.
Yes. I want to thank Dave for coming and hanging out with us and being on the show.
Thank you so much, and it was a horror show getting here.
Oh yeah, no. Donnie was saying it's a pain everywhere.
Mopac went down to one lane.
Yeah, that's shut down for some construction or something, right?
Yeah, and for like
Music therapy.
miles, there's 2 lanes shut down and they're not doing anything.
Good.
Oh, that sounds about right.
And that plays into the karma because they start this the exact same week that I don't have to drive it anymore.
Good job.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I want to go back to that. I want to clarify that after we're finished with this.
Sure.
Donnie, thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you, Travis.
I missed you not being on the show for
I
a
missed
bit.
you too.
And I hope that your Christmas and New Year's were fantastic.
They're pretty good.
Adam, thank you so much for being on the show.
You are most welcome, and thank you for having me as always.
Anytime. Most times. I'd say most times. And Jesse, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Being our beautiful butterfly. I'm Travis Kildorf, and we love you so much. Please check us out, drunkcastlive.com. You can go to twitter.com/drunkcastlive. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive. You can go to the iTunes store. You can go to the Zune store. You can even go to Google Plus and look us up, or just do a Google search for Drunkcast Live. We have a lot of things. I hope to see you next week, and we love you.
Yay!
Yay, bye.
All right.
Then the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice move. Boom, boom, bam, boom, box. We're here to rock you.
Drunkcast Live is a semi-portable podcast from Austin, Texas that records the show live with permission from bars and restaurants. Although they are kind enough to allow us on their property, the venue is not responsible for our content or the opinion of any host or guest. If you'd like more information about the show or when and where we record, please check out facebook.com/drunkcastlive, twitter.com/drunkcastlive, or drunkcastlive.com.
What the deal is?